See, the way my mind works, it ain't over till I win. That's the rule. That's my driving force. Because you know what? Life is going to test us, but I refuse to let it until I emerge victorious. It's not over till I win. Because I know deep inside, this is how life works, my friends. Life has a funny way of putting us through a grinder, right? Putting us through a whole bunch of bullshit. Testing us to see if we're serious. Seeing if we're really, really dedicated. But you know what though? You never give up until you win. You keep going with a fierce tenacity, and you do not let go until victory is yours. See, life's not meant to be easy, man. It's meant to challenge you, to push you, to stretch you, pull you, sometimes even break you a little. It's a test, yo. It's a constant test. It's relentless. It keeps testing your willpower, your endurance, your character. But the one thing you gotta remember is that the measure of a person's strength is not how well they can avoid obstacles. It's how well they can confront them. I mean, fall to your knees if you must, but you gotta get back up again. Every single time. It's not over till I win, yo. That's how I think. And this, my friends, is the mindset that will change everything for you. Because life is a marathon and it's filled with obstacles. And when I say obstacles, I mean like hurdles, ditches, pits of despair, and sometimes even moments where the path just disappears and you're lost and you're in the darkness. You look around and you're just wondering where to go. But you do not give up. Because that's when you adapt. That's when you look for a new direction, a new way, a new approach. Because the road to success is not a straight line. It's winding, it's twisted, it's full of turns you never even expected. It's got dead ends. And sometimes you might even have to go backwards before you move forward again. That's life. But that's also what makes it worthwhile, right? You gotta give it a deeper meaning, yo. The challenges make success so much sweeter, and it adds the value to the journey. Just imagine if it was easy, right? You heard? Then everybody would be successful, right? If it was easy, everyone would be living their dream life. But it's not easy. And thank goodness it's not. Because it's the very difficulty of something that gives success its full flavor. It's the late nights, the early morning runs, the sweat, the tears, the failures. That's what makes it meaningful. That's why you do it. And that's what gives you the confidence to say, I earned this. It's mine. And listen, you're gonna get knocked down. There's just no way around it. Understand? You're gonna have moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable. The pressure. You're gonna feel like the world is totally against you. That nothing is working. And you're gonna just be tired, exhausted, mentally, physically, spiritually. But listen, man, hear me. not over until you decide it's over. It's not over until you decide you're done fighting. It's not over until you win. It's not over until every last drop of your potential is squeezed out. You ever heard the saying, never stop? You don't stop until you've given everything you have, until you've risen again to your feet. Every knockdown, get right back up. Take that 8 count, because it's that kind of resolve that changes the game. Now, I'm not talking about like winning in the usual sense. Standing at the top of the mountain, you know, with everybody up there cheering your name, your hands up in the air. Nah. Winning isn't about applause. It's definitely not about medals. It's not about accolades. It's about knowing deep inside, within you, that you gave your best. And you gave everything you had. It's about knowing you faced every obstacle, every challenge, every fear, and you didn't back down. It's about conquering yourself. That inner demon, the doubts, the fears. The real victory is internal. And that's the victory that matters. That's the one that's sweet. You know, think of a farmer. You plant the seed, you water it, you nurture it, and then what? Nothing happens. Like, not instantly, not at first. That's because the work is happening under the surface. The roots are forming, growing deeper, establishing themselves. And if you just keep at it, keep watering, keep nurturing, even though you can't see anything above the ground, it's happening. One day, you'll see that sprout. Yes, you will. And you'll see the results of your efforts. It's like that in life, guys. So often, we want the results before we've given any effort. And that's just not how it works. You just gotta keep showing up, keep giving, and even when you don't see a return yet, you gotta keep giving and keep showing up every day. Even when everyone around you says it's a waste of time, keep going. You gotta believe in the power of persistence. Because there's a law at work here, and it's a universal one. A universal law of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow, kid. And you cannot cheat the process. If you sow effort, determination, and persistence, you will reap success. But you gotta do one thing. You gotta stay in the game, and you gotta keep going until you win. Because every seed planted is a promise, and every effort you put forward is an investment. You gotta trust the process, and you gotta trust that those seeds will sprout in their time. And here's something that you gotta remember. You don't need to have all the answers. Why do you think you need all the answers? You just need to have faith. Faith that your efforts matter. Faith that every step forward is progress, even if it doesn't look like that in the current moment. And the faith that no matter how hard it gets, there is a reward. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for anyone who refuses to give up. You've got to trust, man, that every difficulty is making you stronger. Every setback is setting you up for something greater. Every struggle has helped shape you into the person that you need to be and the person you need to become. When I started my journey, I was 240, 60 pounds overweight. I lost my confidence, but what I did have was the will to change, to learn, to grow, to be more healthy. I wanted more for myself. I wanted to rise above my current circumstances, and I knew I can get back in shape again. But I knew that was not going to happen if I sat on the sidelines and watched other people fulfill theirs. I knew I had to get in the game. I had to strap up my sneakers. I had to take the risk of whether I could even run or not. I had heart surgery a couple years ago. I had to decide once and for all that it was not over until I won. You know, no matter how many times I had to stop during my first run, questioning what I was doing out there running, catching my breath because I couldn't even breathe, I made the choice to keep going and not stop. Because see, too many people let setbacks define them. They let failure decide for them that it's time to stop. I never did that. They let the doubt creep in, and then suddenly they're telling themselves a story about how they're not good enough and how maybe this dream just isn't for them. But let me tell you something. Failure is not a signal to stop. It's actually a signal to keep going. Failure means you're trying. Failure, it means you're pushing the limits of what's comfortable. And that's exactly what you need to be doing. Because when you fail, it's not the end of the world. It's just a lesson, one of many. It's feedback. It's telling you, maybe you need to change something, do something different, adapt. Yo, but trust me, every person you admire, every successful person you see, they've gone through times when they doubted themselves, times when they also were on the verge of giving up. But the difference is, they didn't give up. They understood that it's not over until they win. And they understood that the journey to success is paved with moments of doubt, with hardships, with sacrifice. But they knew those things were temporary, and if they just kept going, they'd make it to the other side. And you know what? So will you. Now, there's one thing I want you to do, though. Think about the last time you gave up on something. Maybe it was a project, a goal, a dream, a relationship. I want you to think about why you gave up. Did you just decide it was too hard? Did you decide it was taking too long? Did you let fear or doubt talk you out of it? whatever the reason was, I want you to ask yourself, what if I hadn't given up? What if I had kept going? What would that look like today? And I'm not asking you this to make you feel regret. I'm asking you because I want you to understand that you have more power than you actually think. You have the power to keep going. You have the power to decide that this time you're not going to give up. This time you're seeing it through to the end. And this time it's not over until you win. I want you to make that decision today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel motivated already. But let me tell you something. If you just sit back and you're just waiting for the right moment, you'll be waiting forever. Ain't no perfect moment. No perfect moment to begin. You create the perfect moment by deciding to just start. So start today. And make that commitment to yourself right now. That no matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall, you will keep going. You will keep going until you win. And not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Look around you. Look at the people you admire. The people who have the kind of life that you want to live. They ain't superhuman. And they damn sure don't have some magic power that you don't have. They have the same 24 hours a day as you do. They have doubts, they have fears, and they damn sure got insecurities. Just like you. Only difference is that they made a decision and decided that they will not settle for anything less than their potential. They decided that no matter how many times they stumbled, no matter how many times they fell, they were going to keep going. And you can make that decision too. But it ain't just enough to say it, guys. You got to back it up with action. Consistent, focused actions. We don't do the hope strategy here. Every day, you got to do something that moves you closer to your goal. Every day, you got to take a step, even if it's a small one, because the small steps taken consistently over time lead to big results. You got to develop the discipline to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, don't matter. Even when everything inside you is screaming to take a break, you push forward because you know why you're doing it. And you know that quitting just isn't an option. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. You can dream all you want. You can visualize, you can plan, you can set goals, but if you don't have the discipline to take the consistent actions, you'll never get there, and it will never happen. Discipline is what separates those who make it from those who don't. It's what allows you to say It's not over until I win and mean it. It's what allows you to persist when the world says it's time to quit. You keep going. Discipline is your power. It's the force that turns dreams into reality. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I tried and I keep failing? What if I've given my best and it's just still not working? Well, let me tell you something. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. It's information that you can use to get better. It helps you adjust your approach to find a new way. Failure is just part of the process. It's not something to be afraid of, it's something to embrace. Because you know what? Every failure brings you one step closer to success.